Okay, so we are setting up the second of our 4 hero games here, and we have the Amazon Druid, Witch, and Sorcerer for this second round. Um, Pretty good. These are all characters that scored pretty much in the 8 and 9.5 point category. So they all just lost effectively according to our 10-point cutoff. So I wanted to do this setup before anything else, just to see how it all felt, because currently I am doing no cards. Cards are gone. I have all the cards and so on in Tabletop Simulator. So let's see how this all feels here and how it all plays out as we set this up. Oop, cancel. There we go. Get the big scores up. You'll see all our folks here, right here. See, the Amazon scored 9.5. Druid and Sorcerer scored 9. The Witch scored 8. And that's it. That's where we're at. So let's set these guys up and see how this all plays out. So we'll get a board out first. Drinking my lemon water. Attempt to spare my voice. Beast, you mentioned reflux. Maybe. Also, some nasty post-nasal drip and too much information. I totally understand, but it's hell to get old, folks. Don't age. Just don't even bother with it. Man, I don't love it. I don't love this. You're stuck down at the cliff with one way in and out. So I'm not a giant fan. You could remove these two. So you could put this here. And you have sort of a double way into there, right? And then this could go here. But not like that. That ain't gonna work. But it could work like that. So that dumps into the ruins. This dumps into the borderland directly, as does this one. Those are actually the two rough ones, since you're dumping straight into the cave here. This goes to the mountain, and then this one goes into the mountain. So I'm not, and then this valley goes into, well, the mountain. I just said that. Where's our last valley? Oh, over here. This is the one we just moved into the room. I'm not a giant fan of the board. You're going to end up with a lot of folks squashed. Heck, I think everybody starts at the end, so you're going to be squashed all in one place. I think I would like to, in a future iteration, just add start locations to some of these characters. And then the board seems to be cut in two with the high pass and the cavern. Let's just retry this move. So here we're back to the open into the cave, and you have to find this again. This dumps into the crag or the ruin, straight to the mountain. You are pretty much, again, cut in half with the cavern. You're either on the left half of the board or the right half of the board based on the cavern, pretty much. I am not super jazzed about that. Could you fix it? You can't fix it with that. I think we're gonna just retry again. That's all. Sorry, now you gotta. Now you gotta stare at this at me doing this. All right. So mountain, mountain again. And then you're into the caves and cavern. Caves here. I'm sorry, high pass here. So these two valleys I don't love. This one's a little better. This one's a little better. You got the cliff or into the caves again. This one's fine. No, still not a fan. Maybe promising. Let's see. Straight into the caves, not into the caves, into the deep wood, into the deep wood again, into the ledges and the mountains. So, I mean, I like everything but pretty much this guy. And there's no need for this guy to be here, really. He could go elsewhere. The question is where. Strangely enough, there's not a ton of places for him to go. You could dump into the ruins right there. I think I'll put that there. You can just dump into the ruin. So, and it's not sort of goofily, it's not cut off too bad in the middle. That's the problem with those maps that collapse into the middle and have like one or two tiles in the middle is you tend to divide the board into two halves. We're going to accept this board, let it do its thing, and then get all the characters out here. I think that's good. The rogues are here. So you're right off into the deep woods is pretty much your put those there. And then we're going to finish setup. So we got our 4 characters. Got the Amazon. We're going to put the Druid here in place 2. The Witch will go in spot 3. And our favorite Cloud of Vapor, the Sorcerer, goes in spot 4. Gonna lock and delete, unlock and delete, unlock, delete, delete, unlock, delete. Gonna keep ours, don't want to delete that. Unlock, undelete. There we go. We will move this. And then clone, and we'll put all these down about the board. The only problem is we forgot to move this one. Unlock you. Slowly move stuff over here. All right, so we'll put that there, and then clone this. Sorry, yeah, it's boring. Sorry, apologize. Oops, we gotta upsize it. So we'll upsize it to about that size, then clone it. So there we go. There's all the characters sort of boards, right? Now we lock them all because otherwise shenanigans happen with my mouse clicking. So we got all the boards set up. Okay, let's get. I think we need spells now, right? So I don't think anybody else starts anywhere interesting. She's at the inn. The druid, oddly enough, starts at the inn. Oops. Whoa, I don't know what happened there. She starts at the inn with her familiar, of course, and then the sorcerer also starts at the end. So normally this would be like a bloodbath first day. they, they they would kill everyone and the rogues, and it would be bad, 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 bad. All right, let's get some spells out the door. So the druid has first pick of the spells, and he gets 2 spells, and these are 2 or 8. So get 2 or 8, which I have cleverly put into decks now. Very exciting, right? So for our, I don't mind some torchbearer as the druid. I mean, summon might be interesting, although summon is slightly different now, so we have to keep that in mind. I did not adequately change. Oh, I did change this maybe. I don't think I changed it. I'll have to go and get the real summon sheet. Almost never take stones fly. Well, that's wrong. So there you go. So I've got a couple errors. I will fix the errors, but we will not fix them just quite yet. Let's fix them at a later date. Man, I don't like type 2. I need to work on some type 2 spells here. I mean, that's great if you're going to go up against the wood folk, your natural enemy, right? You can just gut the wood folk at that point. I mean, it's not a bad spell. It's actually super powerful against the groups that it's powerful against. I think Woodskin makes you, so keep that in mind as and I will fix that because it has Witch's Brew. So presumably we have a copy paste error there. Let's look at type 8s. Serpent Tongue, Rumors isn't terrible. I mean, it's not a great spell, but it is. Remedy is sort of useful, except that I don't care because I'm a druid. I'm immune to curses. Guide Spider Octopus is never bad, by the way. Disguise isn't terrible. Duel, I think, is a little clunky. It just doesn't happen often enough, I think. Not a giant fan of type 8s either, strangely enough. Poison's not bad, but again, not really my thing. The druid's thing to kill a bunch of dudes. The other thing I will do is let me search over here because you can. Now, the funny thing. So the funny thing the druid could do, so he could enchant purple tiles and become sort of a weird heavy creature killer with his L2. So that is not as good as the wizard. The wizard is a little bit better at this, but he could be a combat druid with a flame sword. And you could have Witch's Brew. I think what we're going to take is... So let's quickly look at the summon animal chart. So we did change the summon animal chart. So the summon animal chart is gigantic, by the way. It's huge. Holy crow. So we'd have to shrink it down a little bit. I'd shrink it down to like that size and just lay it over the card, probably, right? So what you get is you get a Basilisk on 1, you get a Bear on 2, Serpent on 3 to walk the woods, Bat on 4 to fly, and then a wolf and a squirrel. So, and I believe, and I didn't change this either, so I'm a little bit behind. So this summons 2 wolves. So wolves actually summon two wolves. I like Torchbearer. I would love to take a type 7 spell because you do have a type 8 spell, I should say, because you do have 3 of them. 3 of those chits, and otherwise you are sort of wasting some chits. I always feel if you don't try to maximize what you end up with. So we only have 3 gray. So I do like Torchbearer, and I think I'm gonna stick with it. And I'm gonna take Nudge. So the 2 I'm gonna take are pretty. I would consider them fairly standard. And I can delete these here. Just delete this little crew here. So I'm going to take 2. I feel these are fairly standard in the Druids repertoire nowadays. You get Torchbearer, extra phasing, caves. We do use the optional upgrades to these day spells, which are that you can effectively just use a torch chit and then gives you an extra phasing caves. Nudge converts a chit to a nudge chit. You can alter a die up or down. 2 great spells. Now, this is a non-combat druid build. There ain't no fighting here. He is hiding. I'm going to flip 2 of these and go with that. You are hiding. You are in the caves by yourself. You are nudging to find things more quickly. Done. So that's it. Druid's got his spells. The Witch gets 3 spells. She gets type 2, type 5, or type 8, and she gets 3 of them. So she's actually pretty good spellcaster here. So type 3, type 5, or type 8. Or type 2, not type 3. Okay. So again, the question is, what are you taking? Absorb is good for the Witch, of course. If I took Absorb, I would probably consider taking a Broomstick also. The main problem with the Witch, in my humble opinion, is that she simply has too many of these type 8s. That's all. She has a lot of type 8s. I would love more type 5s. And if I had more type 5s, I would be very apt to take Absorb and Broomstick, right? And then what you do is you fly immediately to a good absorb target and absorb him once you get that opportunity. She can do drain life, like the Witch King, but what she doesn't have is, well, I mean, she still has a type 2, so she could be a tremendous killer. She could be a tremendous. Oh no, I'm sorry. These are type 2s. Yeah, her type 5s are really slow. So she's got to prepare for that fight if she's going to use absorb drain life. Unlike the Witch King, just pass it like nothing. Remedy's great for her, of course. Again, Rumors is not the worst spell. Deal with goblins, not the worst for her. Glide Spider Octopus is never bad for anybody, and Nudge is literally never a bad choice for anyone. I don't think. I think Serpent Tongue is just not useful enough because it's not a treasure site. Having said that, there are many times I've been hung up by damn serpents in the game, and they are fairly fast. The problem with the serpents is, unlike say dragons or whatever, these little guys can stop her from fleeing. So can the octopus, of course. So those are the type 8s I would consider. What are the type 2s I would consider for her? Again, a summon. Torchbearer is not bad for anybody. That's most of her type 2s that I would take, though. Again, I wouldn't take Stone's Fly. I wouldn't take Warp Wood. You're not enemies with the wood folk like the Druid is. And then type 5s, I feel she is a great candidate for Absorb. I feel Broomstick is huge. Drain Life is a little less useful for her. No one takes Power of the Pit. It's just too dangerous. So I could see Absorb Essence and Broomstick and Remedy, and that would be to unabsorb. And that would be sort of a standard draw with her, I feel. So you always have Broomstick cast. You have Absorb at the ready. You use your familiar to find out where these monsters are going to show up. You go there, you pop one. Tremendous Troll, Tremendous Flying Dragon. Those are 2 winners all the time. And then you can be almost not touched by almost anything in the game. So the question is whether that's how we're going to roll this time or not. I would love to use my gray chits somewhere. And you can certainly use Remedy. I say we go for it. Again, I think it's a standard play. I don't think it's a bad play, though. It doesn't make it bad. It just makes it. Plus, it's very canonical witch, right? She's going to have a broomstick. I sort of like that. And then the sorcerer, we did putz around quite a bit. I liked the doomed sorcerer run that I did, where we took none of the sorcerer's main spells that we always take. And what I would argue we always take would be Fiery Blast, Transform, and Melt into Mist. And Fiery Blast is still great. Instead, we took Lightning Bolt, Summon Elemental, and world fades. And I don't think that's bad at all. I think that's actually a fairly good play. Now we did add some spells. So we changed summons, right? So summons now draw immediately. Again, this is changed. So let's draw that. Let's draw that out here. The elemental summon table is gigantic again. But what you'll see is that we have earth, fire, mud, water, smoke, and air. So the air elemental is the weakest by far. By the way, the air elemental is medium. So I do have to change these. I do have to change these two charts up a little bit. Air elemental is medium, not heavy. It is by far the weakest thing here. The smoke elemental is a great escape. The mud elemental is untried. I have not yet seen it be super useful. But remember, the summons immediately draw something off your sheet. And so that works really, really well to sort of assist in keeping the sorcerer's alive. Especially given if you're not taking Meld into Mist, you sort of have that. And I might not take Meld into Mist because, frankly, there's a lot of spellcasters on the board, and there's no reason for them to not just enchant all the purple spots and lock you out of treasure. So I might consider not taking Meld into Mist. And if you don't have Meld into Mist, then it does help to have a get out of jail free card. And the get out of jail free card for the sorcerer in the Doom Sorcerer game was Summon Elemental. Now, what you do lose doing that, you very much lose the ability to do what you would normally do, which is jump into a near death situation, hidden, fiery blast everyone, and then have a get out of jail free card. There, you don't have a get out of jail free card anymore. You could take. So who does he not like? He doesn't like the old order. He doesn't like the soldiers. He doesn't like the guard. I mean, he does like the company lancers and the Bashkars. Not a great crew to say summon aid instead. The nice thing is, at least the first time, this is the first time I've actually had a weird choice with the sorcerer. Like, it's not obvious what to take. Now, if the sorcerer is hidden, that elemental will kill a lot of things. So the other buff to the elemental, the summon spells, is that if you rolled, say, a 3, you can choose 3, 4, 5, or 6. You can choose any of these. So let's say I'm fighting a heavy troll. I could choose to take the water elemental, and he's going to kill that troll in a heartbeat. If I need to get out of jail free because I have 3 guys on me, I can choose the smoke if I roll a 5, 4, or anything less than that. I can choose the 3 smoke elementals. All of a sudden, my sheet is empty, and I potentially have the option to get out of jail free. Now, the problem is that because of when this is all happening because of when this is happening in the turn order in combat, I yawn 29 minutes in. You might get into a vicious cycle where your things are being killed. And that's shit's going to be on your heat next round anyway. Um, I say we're going to do it again. We're going to try the Doomed Sorcerer yet again here. We're going to try these 3 spells. We're going to try World Fades, Lightning Bolt, and World Fades, Lightning Bolt, and Summon Elemental. And we're going to try to focus entirely on getting to purple spots and being in purple tiles, enchanting them, and utilizing the fact that we've enchanted them to use World Fades. Oops. Always get that one wrong. So I'm going to cast World Fades initially for sure. Done. So there you go. So let me get her. She's going to pop 2 of these, I think. She needs to pop 2 of those. I think she is done. The Druid only uses 2, and he is done. Okay. So that's it. I think we've picked spells. I think we've set up. Now for the main event, we just need to get cards. And why don't we put everybody on the inn? Because everybody starts at the inn. We don't really PvP in any of these 4 hero games. I am going to at some point have. I need some ground rules for it, I think, and I'm gonna get some ground rules and write those up here in coming rounds. So we're all gonna start here, which largely means you're either heading to the caves or you're heading to the deep woods. Now the interesting thing is the Druid might head to the caves. Because he's pretty certain that he's going to have mostly free reign there. Most characters won't follow him into the caves. But he has Torchbearer. So once he gets in there, he could have several days where he gets an extra phase. Okay. So that's that. Let's get cards for everybody. So main event, in this event counter, you will see that I indeed have a quest deck. Put it right there. So I think I'm going to increase the size the tiniest bit of this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe. There you go. We'll up it 10, I think, maybe. Ugh. Let me see. It's not quite 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. So 15 total. So there you go. That way, when I flip this, you can at least sort of read it. It's not quite as big as the spells, and we'll have to find a place to put these darn things. I suppose I can put them right next to their player aids. So we're going to shuffle. Going to put that right here, and then deal these out. So deal to all seated players. Ooh, I don't know that I want to do that because I'm not sure how that's going to work. I should have tried that. We're just going to draw one. So 2, 3, and 4. Shuffle real quick just to make sure. 2, 2, 3, and 4. And then one more quick shuffle and 3 cards to everybody. So everybody gets 3 cards to start. And now let's go take a look. And you'll notice I do not have on the bottom, I don't have their cards. I'm going to try. I'm going to try to not use that. And we'll see how that feels this time. So we have locate the statue, pilgrimage, and ghost hunter for the Amazon. So I think she can probably just keep them right here. So let's take a quick look at how she feels about those. Locate statue, pilgrimage. So chapel. How do you get to the chapel? It's not the worst. And ghost hunter. How do you get to ghosts? Again, not the worst. I think I don't think there's any reason not to keep these three. We got locate the statue, discover the statue. Pilgrimage is end of phase in clearings containing the chapel, altar, shrine, or monastery. Visiting any two of them, you get a VP. 3 or more, and you can get a type 1 spell and convert up to 2 chits. Now, I don't know how the Amazon would feel about converting 2 chits. Maybe a move 3 and a fight M. Maybe. And then the ghost hunter is you kill the ghosts. You can go to the chapel and get a source of white magic. So that's it. I think she'll keep those for now. The druid has sacrifice. So take any large treasure, locate the altar, and ancient scrolls. So ancient scrolls, you can place a visitor in a dwelling of your choice, bring any treasure to a visitor and do a trade phase. They will buy it at normal price. So if they're one of those treasures that they really want, they'll buy it for you at that price or 2 times face value, whichever's higher. Locate the altar and sacrifice sort of work together. But having said that, I would argue that he mostly is going to want stuff with spells on it if he can manage. So I think he's going to discard that. And we put the discards, we're going to put them face up here in case someone, for some reason, needs to get the discards. And he has Diplomat, Encounter Goblins. I like that because it's a nice, safe one. If someone finds goblins, he's going to grab them. And I think we'll keep that. So those are the 3 we have. I hope those are big enough to read. I hope those are big enough. I was hoping to use this extra real estate. But if you guys don't see what quests they have, that's going to stink overall. So tell me what you think as we go forward. In any case, there you go. So those are the 3 for our guy there. He has Cursebreaker, Lucky Day, and Wolf Tamer. She certainly could get cursed, and she certainly can break it. So I think of the characters to get that, maybe she's going to, because she's going to be looking for spells. I do like Lucky Day. I don't like Wolf Tamer as much. I don't think I'm going to spend a lot of time in where you're going to get wolves. So I'm going to put that there and draw another one for our witch. And she gets learn a spell. Well, geez, oh man, that's an obvious one there. So she has Cursebreaker, Lucky Day, and learn a spell. So I think we keep those. Of course, she has to keep learn a spell since she just drew a card again. I think we keep those 3. And we're going to go with that. Finally, our sorcerer. Oops, Arson, Envoy, and Troll Slayer. Well, I think we certainly can slay a troll. Envoy's a little dicier because 2 of the 3 groups that we have are harder to find. How come that is smaller? Like why is that a smaller card? It's a little weird. Oh, I don't know. So anyway, Arsonist is find someone you don't like and burn their craft down. He will certainly keep that. I think we're actually going to get rid of Envoy. I do not know how. I mean, I don't know how likely I am to hover around the woods again. Part of it just comes down to how likely am I to be around the woods, and the answer is I actually don't know if I'm going to spend a lot of time around in the woods. And Navigator, learn 3 secret paths or passages. Sure. Oops, that's the witch. That is a problem. Here's the sorcerer. So for Arsonist, the sorcerer would choose the guard. They're his enemy. So he can do retribution, which is, oh, let me set up cameras while I'm here. So he could do retribution. And the thing about retribution, which is nice, is it's 2 victory points, right? Because it's your enemy. So let me get. So there's camera 1. Let's get camera 2 up here. Theoretically, 3 and 4 ought to be close to this vertical. Close. And 4. So there we go. So yeah, I think I would. I think I would pick retribution for this arsonist card. The only problem with this, by the way, is I can't keep a tab. I can't keep tabs like I did before, right? So that sort of stinks. Tell you what I will do is I will. I'm going to take an extra guard counter and I'm going to put it on this arsonist to show that I've chosen the guard to exact retribution on. And for retribution, I got to be their enemy. You got to be hidden in their spot, do a search, get a discover result, and I'm going to get 2 VP and a treasure from their pile. I will definitely take that. So that's that. We can take, so let's do, anyone else have things they can place before we are ready to start? No, she does not have anything to place. The witch has nothing to place or choose. The witch. The druid has nothing to place or choose. The witch has nothing to place or choose. The sorcerer has to choose a visitor, and the sorcerer doesn't like the warlock. That's pretty much the only one he does not like is the warlock. He's going to take. He doesn't like the warlock because the warlock. I'm going to take the scholar and I'm going to put him right where we're at, actually. So the scholar is going to live in the inn. And we're going to go find a troll and kill it. So those are our characters and those are our quests. And I don't know. I do like having them on the bottom. I think that's nice and helpful. But like I said, we'll roll with this for a couple weeks and see how we feel about it. Now we do the events. So events, we also have a deck, and that's a big deck. That is a large deck. We're going to shuffle those cards. And draw 3. 1, Circus in Town. 2, Plague o' Wolves. And 3, Thieves Guild. So the nice thing about these is they're nice and visible, and you can just play them right off of here. I don't even need my sheets anymore. So let me get the dice out, and let's get some dice, and more dice. Oh, and let me get the quest tables out here. And the only thing I don't like is these aren't by the board anymore. So it's a little bit of a trick, right? So okay, we got the circus in town. The circus appears at one of these spots. So let's roll. And that circus is going to appear in Ledges 4. So let's get our circus. That's in Ledges 4. Let's get the Thieves Guild while we're in here. Where's the Thieves Guild? Thieves Guild. Done. Okay. So circus in Ledges 4. Where are the ledges 4? It's right in the middle. So there's our circus. The Plague of Wolves appears in a random clearing. So now we come down here. You'll notice our hexes are right here. 4, Cliff 6. So Cliff 6, we're going to get 6 wolves. Let's put the 6 wolves out. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, just like the wolves normally. And that's in Cliff 6. Strangely enough, if I do that enough, I will at some point get them. But there you go. There's our Plague of Wolves. And then the Thieves Guild is in the Ruins, and it goes in Ruins 4. So Ruins 4. So there you go. That's the nice thing is none of those are super far away. Oftentimes you're going to roll those and get sort of a mess, right? You're going to get, well, okay, we got something down here in Mountain 1. Well, no one's going to touch that. Or, yep, it's in High Pass 5. Good luck with that. We're pretty centrally located, and these are pretty easy to get to, many of them. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do wonder how easy it's going to be to manage the in my head manage the quests, right? If I'm not always looking at them. So that's sort of the advantage slash disadvantage of having them here. So if I were to put them back, let's say I have Amazon and she has locate statue, then I'm just keeping track of them again over here. Pilgrimage and Ghost Hunter. Let me save that and then put that down below. And we're not ready to set these up since I didn't set them up previously to be the correct characters. So yes, you're watching me do stupid stuff again. Sorry. So he has sacrifice, locate altar, and diplomat. Now the nice thing would be you might be able to, if you could find a way to, so the thing to do might be to move them here. And maybe that becomes the easy way to deal with them, right? Like they're just right here. You know, so that way every day you come down here and you're like, oh, well, hold on. I'm sacrifice, locate the altar, and the diplomat. And the diplomat, by the way, is goblins. Keep that in mind. So let's try that over the Amazon. So, yeah, I mean, I do apologize, obviously, for the long setup, but I. Oop, no. This player isn't really. They're not. No. That's not true. They're not actually doing that, although I do appreciate. There you go. So now when I come to her sheet, you know, I'm sort of seeing all this right there. I don't mind that. I think that's a little better. I might run with these at the bottom to make sure that you guys are seeing them. Or I keep track of scores a little bit more real time and put those at the bottom. So instead of that, we got the witch, and the witch has not set her cards up. So she has Curse Breaker. She does have Lucky Day. And learn a spell. So, I mean, her goal is very simple. Get to a damn spell place. Get to a somewhere you can learn a spell. And screw it up. And then unscrew it up, right? So that's sort of fun in a weird way. Then finally, we have the sorcerer. And I'm adjusting notepad on my screen. I was hoping to get rid of the notepad, by the way. That is the reason I'm trying to avoid not, trying to use the cards, if not exclusively, then close to exclusively for quests. Just because I'm trying to get rid of notepad. So we have Troll Slayer. We have Arsonist against the Guard. And we have Navigator. Navigator. And we have 3 of these to find. Done. So there you go. So there's our board. I did put the little widgets back up for you in case. Tell me what you think, if you're okay with them, without them. I do like having the quest cards down the side here. I think that's going to help. And remember, we can always pull one up and just go, well, that's what it looks like. So we are indeed set up. And I actually think what I'm going to do, I was going to use down here for my, I might actually move these up here, just like that, and move this chart right there. Move the dice. And, I mean, we'll move the deck wherever, really. Doesn't matter where that deck goes, but right there. So that way we're at least closer to the board. You can still see it. You can see those as we go. Now that might get a little clunky as we add to these, so we'll figure it out as we go. So let me save this game. And we're going to call this the Amazon Druid Witch Sorcerer game. It's WASD. It's so there you go. That game is saved. We are good. It took an hour to set up this time. I don't think that's going to be forever. We took a long time with spells, and we're sort of fiddling with the layout of the board. That will decrease as we go, I guarantee you. Okay, that's it, guys. I will talk to you later. Thanks. We've set up. Bye-bye.